So let me start off by saying that I have my own personal opinion on Kathleen Kennedy and the job she's done at Lucasfilm in her 8 years as the company's president. That being said, I'm going to read the facts to you first and what's been said by Disney CEO Bob Chapek and what that means going forward with Lucasfilm, and then give my opinion about this news at the end of the video. If you would like, you can leave your opinion in the comment section down below. I just ask that you be civil. I know that we all care about Star Wars and can get really passionate about it. That being said, if someone has a different opinion than yours, don't hate on them for that. Now, onto the video. So the story starts with Disney's 2021 shareholder meeting, which is where people who are shareholders in the Disney stock get updates on how the company is doing and have the option to ask Bob Chapek, Disney CEO, questions. During the Q&A, one shareholder asked Chapek if there was any possibility that Kennedy could be replaced in her role as the head of Lucasfilm by somebody like Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, or possibly both. Chapek was unmistakable in his response to the question. We've been absolutely thrilled that we can have the kind of creative talent in our company, the likes of Kathy Kennedy, to run Lucas, and we look forward to having Kathy directing the activities of the entire Lucasfilm organization for many years to come. So it would seem that Kathleen Kennedy's contract that ends in September of this year will be extended for many years to come. Now we can speculate how long her possible contract extension will be if that does end up happening later this year. Let's start with Kathleen's initial contract. Kennedy took the reins as Lucasfilm president in October of 2012, when the company was acquired by Disney for $4 billion from creator George Lucas. She then got a 3-year contract extension in 2018 after being president for 6 years. It is that contract extension that was signed in 2018 that ends this upcoming September. Now, there has been long speculation that Kennedy would either opt out and not renew her contract when it ends later this year, or that Disney would not ask her to return as president, especially that since under her leadership we have seen the Star Wars fan community become more and more divided in reaction to projects that have been released by Lucasfilm, most notably the sequel trilogy and the Solo movie. Now, whatever side of the argument you fall on in regards to these movies, I think we all can agree that the divide is definitely there. So how long would this new contract extension be? Well, going off the assumption that it's another 3-year extension like the one she signed in 2018, that would keep her as the president of Lucasfilm until late 2024. Now, there's also rumors swirling around the internet that this is just Bob Chapek doing damage control for the decision to fire Gina Carano and give the shareholders a sense of stability, and that 6 months from now, when her contract does officially end, that she will not be asked to return. I'm not sure if I buy into these rumors, although I can see the point they're trying to make, which is that if Disney was unhappy with the way Kennedy was doing her job as the president of Lucasfilm, they wouldn't go out in the middle of a public shareholders call and put her on blast. Instead, they would put on a public smile, give good PR, and then when it came time to part ways later this year, they would say it was a mutual decision and they each would wish each other the best. Again, I can see Disney doing something like this to some extent. I just think it's more likely, however, that Disney will just give her another contract extension. My reasoning for this is based on a lot of Disney's recent decisions. Disney and Lucasfilm seem to be out of touch with a very large part of their fan base. I would say that it's a fair assessment to say that most Star Wars fans hated The Last Jedi and what Rian Johnson did with the characters in that story. What does Disney do? They give Rian Johnson his own trilogy. Cara Dune is a fan favorite of the Mandalorian series. What does Disney do? Fires Gina Carano. Fans have been very outspoken about wanting Star Wars to be apolitical in future projects. What does Disney do? Hires Justin Simien to head the Lando Calrissian show on Disney+. If any of you don't know who Justin Simien is, he wrote, produced, and directed Dear White People. Whether you like that show or not, it was very political. Now, just because Simien did a very political show on Netflix doesn't mean he will take the Lando show in that direction. But I also wouldn't be too surprised if he does end up doing just that. I think we should also note some of the accomplishments Lucasfilm has had under Kennedy's leadership. Pretty much every Star Wars fan I know or have heard from loves Rogue One. It was dark and gritty and showed a side of Star Wars we've only seen in Revenge of the Sith and The Empire Strikes Back. The Mandalorian is also massively successful and loved by most fans for bringing both nostalgia for the original trilogy and expanding the universe in new, bold ways. There was also Season 7 of The Clone Wars. Although most of the characters and stories, such as the Siege of Mandalore and Ahsoka and Rex's fate, had already been planned by George Lucas and Dave Filoni years before Disney purchased the company. So it's a mixed basket under Kennedy's leadership. Now, on to my opinion. Do I think she should remain as president of Lucasfilm? Short answer, probably not. Long answer, if she learned from her mistakes and keeps her and the rest of the Disney suits out of the creative decisions and leave that to those who truly know and care about Star Wars, and Kennedy just sticks to running the business side of things, then yeah, I guess I would be okay with her remaining as the head of the company. Now, we have seen a glimpse of this with Kennedy putting Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau together to work on The Mandalorian, which, as I said, is one of the most loved Star Wars projects to come out under Disney's ownership. Kennedy also seems to be giving full control to Dave Filoni on the upcoming Ahsoka Tano show on Disney+, so there is hope for Star Wars. Now, do I think Kennedy will stay out of all the creative decisions? No, I do not, which I personally think is a problem, as past decisions have shown. But at the end of the day, all we can do is wait and see. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell to be notified when I upload my next video. And make sure to comment your thoughts on Kathleen Kennedy down in the comment section below. And remember, with great power comes great responsibility. And I'll see you in the next one.